I would like to talk about my identity as a gay Christian. And I guess as a starting point for many people, that's an oxymoron. I grew up in the 50s and had very little knowledge about being gay or lesbian. The only vague hint of it was that we had some rather strange PE teachers at school. Um, and I very readily recognised once I got into my teens that I was more attracted to girls than I was to boys. I went to do my student nurse training at a London hospital, and it was there that I became involved in my first lesbian relationship and realised and recognised who I was. Whilst I was doing my training, my foster sister committed suicide, and I was in a very dark place. And some of my fellow student nurses went to a large Pentecostal church in London and invited me there. I went with them and very much felt that there was a place where I could belong and where people would love me and where I could gain some comfort in my grief. It soon became very apparent, however, that it was absolutely not okay for me to be gay, and there were sessions of counselling and prayer for healing and deliverance in order to make me straight. So to prove that I was now straight, I married the first young Christian man that wanted to marry me, and there began decades of very sad marriages and divorces and unhappiness. When my son died in 1994, it was a catalyst for me. And about a year after that, I left the family home and got a residential job as a scheme manager in Croydon, looking after sheltered housing. It was there that I met my then partner, and again, it was a matter of this is who I am, and I can't change who I am. And if I have to not go to church and not have a relationship with God, then I can't help that because I can't change myself. So I stopped going to church, and though I never really stopped praying, I always felt that I was living under some kind of condemnation. About 18 years ago, I moved to Brighton, again, the same kind of job, and I have no idea how I found out about it, but I found that there was a denomination called the Metropolitan Community Church, which was fundamentally a gay church. And I can remember being so conflicted and desperately wanting to go, and yet feeling that if I stepped foot inside the church, the roof would fall down on me. So I made contact with the minister, and I met her in Kent Town, which was the first time I'd been anywhere remotely gay, and we spent about 2.5 hours chatting. And a friend of mine at work, a straight married lady, very kindly came to that first service with me, so I wasn't alone. And it took a while, but gradually over the weeks, and hearing people speak and hearing people's stories and hearing what they believed the Bible did or didn't say about being gay, I actually realised that God loved me exactly as I am. And ever since then, I've been a really active member of the church and have an amazing sense of belonging. I think I'm much more open to a spiritual life than I was before, and I couldn't be happier.